Alrighty, so I'm closing out week 7 and opening up week 8 is for attendance, but I just wanted to spend a moment talking about a few things in this video for week 8 because the rest of the items we have, there's nothing new. We're continuing our Code Academy, continuing our chapter quizzes, and our My IT Lab. So this week we're going to do something a little different. You're going to actually start into a little bit of coding, and I give you exactly what to do, so don't worry. I show you exactly how to do the code. So you're basically following along with me, and I talk about this in the video. It's 29 minutes long. You don't have to take notes. All you have to do is actually just provide 3 print screens, and I'll show you where I want those done. Okay, so I just wanted to show you one thing is at the end of it, and this happened in a different semester, a student said, "Hey Rio, you calculated overtime pay incorrectly." And as I looked at the code, I was like, that's right. Because when you calculate base pay, right, you calculate it. Anyway, I did make a mistake, so I'm actually going to show you another way I could correct it. And actually, I've run a calculation here showing 45 and 15 and what that pay would be. So I thought I'd just show you, because I think it's worth, because we talk about a little bit of coding in this class, how to do this in a spreadsheet. Now I'm doing this in Google Docs, but it doesn't matter, right? So in this case, I have hours and rate. And then this is calculated based on logic. This is calculated based on logic. And this is just calculated. And this is just added to these two together. So how did I do this? I took overtime hours, and it should be overtime, would be, in this case, A2. So this value right here, if it's great, and I asked a question, if A2 is greater than 40, then A2 minus 40, right, would equal to this value. And if it's false, if it's not, right, so if it's 39, then it'd be 0. If it's 45, then it would be 5. So it calculates if it's true, do this. If it's not true, if it's false, and this is showing the if else, right? Not else, just if statement. This is just a logical if. And if that is confusing, that's okay. This is just the beginning of us just touching on programming. But you're basically saying some logic here. If this condition is true, do this, else do this. But it's just an if statement. And then for base pay, then I said if C2 is greater than 0, right? If there's some overtime, then figure out A2 minus C2, going back to figuring out that base, times B2, which would be rate. Now, if that's not true, then just take your base pay would be equal to A2, which would be hours times rate, right? Then I could figure overtime pay, right, would just be C2, that times B2, rate, times 1.5. And then total pay would just be these two added together, right? So if I did 40, obviously I get no overtime pay. My total pay and my base pay would be the same, right? If I get 41, then that would make sense, right? So I don't know if it's exactly right, but it's at least giving you the concept. And I wanted to show you that because, again, you're learning a little bit of programming. And if you like programming, I hope to see you in some of our advanced classes. Like right now, I'm helping teach Java and JavaScript. So programming is a great skill to have, as I've said. And the reason I'm mentioning this is next week, we are going to start in on our JavaScript Code Academy. Okay, the only other thing I want to say, since we're still talking about this idea of coding, is that in the video I talk about the Valley DevFest. So Valley DevFest, and I believe I've mentioned it in here, but if I haven't, you know, I actually have a ticket for anyone that wants to go, but I would need to hear from you this week to reserve a seat, because normally it's $15 and it's a 3 to 9 event on Saturday, October 20th. And we have got speakers and tracks. I wonder if I'm on this list. I am. How cool. So we have 4 people from Google coming down, which is awesome, right? So I can point them out, but you can just look at this website to see who the folks from Google are. And then you can look at the schedule. So this is something that even if technology is your focus, you definitely want to come, just because it's good to meet people. And we have somebody from Google giving our keynote who's actually from Fresno, that actually got a job at Google over this last year. So it's awesome to have a home person do well. So anyway, if you want, you would shoot me off an email in Canvas and say, yes, I'd like a ticket. The tickets are going to go, I think, pretty fast. So I would need to hear from you in the coming week if you're interested. Okay. So the only other thing I'd like to say before I head out of this video is that I want to give you the heads up that in October, so we're here at the end of September, right? October is flowing around really quickly. And I am actually going to be traveling on the 11th and not back until the 15th. So this really doesn't mean anything to you being online, and even face to face, you're just going to have a sub. But the point is that even when I'm traveling, I'm grading and doing work. Sorry, this is not your class. You're like, what are those items, right? We still have items that are due during the time that I'm gone. And you already have this available. Matter of fact, I just released today week 9, which is, I think, a good assignment because you're actually going to build a website based on HTML and CSS. So, by the way, that also means on the CSS that you're going to be doing, where you do CSS colors, which I think is the one for you all next week, that's actually what we're going to base this off of. Yes, CSS setup. CSS colors. Oh, maybe we hadn't gotten there yet. Right, I'm just looking real quick to see. CSS visual rules box. Anyway, it's based off one of the CSSs. So more than anything, that's what I wanted you to know is we have that coming up. So if you have any questions, right, the class chat email, just want you to know on those days I will be traveling, available through class chat and or email. All right, have a great rest of your day. Bye.